Yeah. Boxing aficionados. What's up? What's going on? You know how it is. Another day, another reason for the bitch-ass hardcore to cry about something. And this time, they're crying about Canelo making his return to Mexico against John Ryder. Now, I don't know about y'all, I'm a little excited at the prospects of having a really big fight be made in Mexico. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be buying that pay-per-view, but I'll watch it somewhere. There's plenty of places you can find to watch the pay-per-view without having to pay for it. But John Ryder earned his opportunity. John Ryder earned his opportunity. And the interesting thing that I find about the situation is that, you know, there are those that would admonish Canelo Alvarez for, quote unquote, choosing to fight John Ryder. But the truth of the matter is that he didn't choose John Ryder. John Ryder took the proper steps, put himself in the right position to get a Canelo fight. The WBO mandatory was right up for grabs. That mandatory position was up for grabs. And it was originally slated to go to the winner of Zach Parker versus Boo Boo Andrade. Initially, Boo Boo Andrade got a very fair offer, purse bid offer, a rather very fair offer via purse bid from Frank Warren for a fight against Zach Parker, right? I think he would have made in the neighborhood of $1.5 million. I think it actually was 1.3. I remember doing the math, what it was going to be. He was going to get over $1 million initially to fight Zach Parker. He felt, for whatever reason, that it was inappropriate and didn't choose to go that route. Now, the funny thing about Boo Boo Andrade is that he'd been pining for a fight against Canelo for years, showing up at press conferences, all uninvited. And then when he's given the the blueprint, the pathway that would lead him directly to a fight versus Canelo, he deviates from the fight. And he did it in such an interesting way because it took him, not only did it take him off the path, it took him, like completely out of the atmosphere in which the path was located. Because only reason he got the opportunity was because he was the WBO, super champ, right? And as such, was given an eliminator against Zach Parker right off the bat after moving up as a champion. See, that's the part that Boo Boo Andrade didn't understand. He didn't understand that the reason why he got the opportunity against Zach Parker to begin with was because he had a belt around his waist at the middleweight division, the WBO. Boo Boo Andrade, for some unknown reason, not only did not take the fight against Zach Parker, but then drops the middleweight belt that he had around his waist that gave him the passport, the ticket, the routing number to to a fight against Canelo. And then in comes John Ryder, takes the fight against Canelo. John Ryder, who's not a Frank Warren fighter, took the fight against Parker. John Ryder, who's not a Frank Warren fighter, took the fight against Parker, who is, and ended up beating Zach Parker. I haven't even seen that fight. I don't know what happened. I thought John Ryder would lose to Zach Parker. Zach Parker had whatever happened, doesn't matter. Point is that John Ryder, to a quirk in the quantum universe, ends up being in prime position, well, where he is today. The Eddie Hearn fighter who beat Zach Parker gets to fight Canelo and take this trip to Mexico and show up. And the bitch-ass hardcore can't grasp that. Oh, Canelo, he's choosing to fight John Ryder. Oh, Canelo, he's ducking Benavidez. Benavidez, who also had a pathway to a Canelo fight, and then decided that cocaine was more important than the Canelo fight, holding on to his belts, decided that eating was more important than holding on to his ticket to a Canelo fight in the form of the WBC strap. And now he's standing around strapless, rated by the WBC, who you know that the WBC is not going to do anything to anger Canelo. The WBC, who made Dillian White wait, what was it, 3 years? Damn near 3 years? Was it 3 years? Something in that ballpark? To get his mandatory shot in their division. They didn't like Dillian White, didn't feel compelled to do anything for that man. And therefore, he was able, Deontay Wilder was able to avoid even confronting him. And now, David Benavidez is in the same predicament as Dillian White was. Really. Because WBC ain't gonna force Canelo anytime soon to do anything he doesn't want, because they want to be in the Canelo business. Bottom line. So it is what it is. And the bitch-ass hardcore can't stand it, because they'd rather bitch and moan rather than understand the situation. Focus on what your fighter did or did not do to earn a fight with Canelo. Canelo did nothing but beat Canelo. Meanwhile, Canelo moved up, got beat by Bivol, did this, and, whatever. A whole lot of uninteresting things to me. But I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm not a Canelo fan. Don't care about his style. Don't care. Never did. You understand? Not a compelling figure. To my taste. But I'm not going to admonish him, deride him, criticize him, while the man is actually putting together a hell of a resume and a hell of a career. Don't like his fights? Don't watch them. This event, it'd be nice to see what Mexico looks like. A Mexican stadium would look like with whatever number of fans he can get in there. I like big events. I like 90,000 at Wembley. I like 70,000 in Germany when the Klitschko's used to do that. It adds to the energy. I like 40,000 in Texas when Canelo did that against Smith. I think it raises the overall profile of boxing in general when you can get, football-sized crowds into the event. I think it's good for the sport. overall, I may not like the event itself or the fight itself, but I'm going to celebrate that it's taking place and that boxing comes to the forefront. Interesting about a Canelo fight, though, actually Canelo, the fighter, that I was in this establishment, Spanish owned, and they had Spanish network on. And I hardly watch Spanish network, Spanish TVs, or whatever. I hardly watch TV at all, except for certain sporting events. And they had it on regular channels, and a Canelo commercial comes on. And I said, oh shit, this guy has commercials. I didn't know. So I was like, wow, way to go, Canelo. Not too many boxers have commercial. Like Marvin Hagler had commercials. Like George Foreman had commercials. I think Ali had commercials. I'm not sure about that. So when you get to the point, Oscar De La Hoya had commercials, you know. When you get to that level of mainstream acceptance and get endorsements on that level, you're doing something. So way to go, Canelo. However, the bitch ass hardcore is gonna suffer and complain and deride and criticize and cry and bitch and moan, because that's what bitch ass hardcores do. They could never, ever accept things for what they are, or come to really logical conclusions about anything. About anything. They never hold their fighters accountable to anything. You dig? Anyway, it's a short video. John Ryder. I'm rooting for John Ryder. Let me just put that out. I want John Ryder to shock the world. I think John Ryder shocking the world would be good for boxing. Then they could do another rematch, you know. I think it'd be great. John Ryder not only beats Zach Parker in a fluke, but beats Canelo in an upset in Mexico. I would love that. I would really, really, really love that. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But I won't impede me from rooting for the outcome. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Next level boxing talk, baby. I'm out.